All right, so you guys see us and hear us clearly, right? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you well. No problem. You can go
Okay.
on.
All right. Just want to check. All right. So, hello everyone. Today, Hui and I will try to present a next topic of the Android tablet update. It's the kind of the new version of Android tablet. It's just not kind of the big version, but we're still trying to improve our Android tablet. So we call it the Android tablet 3.0. The previous version is the tablet 2.0 from Toby, Fu, John, and right now we continue the improvement on this. So okay, so again, what is the Android template? So as you guys already know about the in Edge platform in our company, we try to create a template for that, right? So we have iOS template, we have Android template, and we have web template, maybe rail template. So it will try to include all the base structure for our component to prepare for the new project. And also it allows the project for and developer by using the same coding environment, the same principle, the same architecture. It's happy to consider the all project using the same technology. So the plan for the Android template 2.0, we already finished kind of the, improve our code coverage tool, apply the code coverage tool is called Jaco code. So there is some kind of
We cannot hear you anymore. Yes.
sorry,
Yeah.
maybe I just press the keys. Okay, so the plan for the Android tablet 2.0 is we already finished to integrate the code coverage by using Jaco code. We set up the Android Bootstrap for kind of the code style and plugin for our IDE. And also we apply using Fastlane with the to release the distribute the app. So for 3.0, we trying to continue to improve the templates by update our current model structure and also the adjust and optimize our current MVVM architecture with the use case. The next one is we follow the new trending is kind of a single activity architecture, and we need some small dependency injection improvement. All right, so the first one is update our model structure. So the advantage of the modularization, we have the first question. So why do we need to improve our current model structure? So the first thing is split up the view. So as you know, for Android development, we use Gradle to build our application from end to end. So it does two things like it gets the previous work, and also it's trying to do as much as possible in parallel. I mean the Gradle task. So modularization will help us to separate our project into smaller model. So it kept the model is our work build. It will be kept and review for the next build. So it will speed up the build. Also, it enables for the on-demand delivery. So Android just support for some new deployment option like instant app bundle, something like that. So modularization will try to have for that features too. The next one is simplify the development. So working on the small thing like will make our life easier, right? Instead of working in the whole project code. So if people will just working and modify on just a small thing, and then we combine them together. The next one is the reuse model approach the apps. I mean, we can define some kind of small library, small common library to reuse it or reuse it. So it's not only be used in just one project. We can just define them well and then reuse it in another project as well. So experiment with the new technology. So applying the new technology in the whole big project is not the kind of the easy task. So we will try to apply it in kind of small model first and see the advantage of the new technologies, and then we apply that into another model as well. The next one is a scale development team. So as I can see, and I already said about the simplify the development, 8 people will work in, 8 model. So we can, and then we can combine our result after we finish our task in 8 model. It also enables the refactoring, so it's a little bit the same to the experiment with the new technology. So split the project into smaller model. We have to work in the smaller component and make easy on refactoring as well, and simplify the test automation. So yeah, separating the project into multiple model will help us to make our test smaller, and it's we could have it's more easy it's easier for us to write the test on the kind of the simple component. So for back to our timeless, so why do we need to update our model structure? So the current template has a 2 model. It's the app for the main application and data. So data contain all the component related to the API, related to the networking or something like that. So that the need of the separating the business logic in the app model to smaller model. We won't contain everything into just a big app model anymore. So we introduce a command eye model and the domain model. So command eye model is kind of just a poor Java library. It will contain on the model command eye operation for all models for reusing. So command eye could be reused for another project as well. For domain model, we manage the remote and local repositories also persistent. So it belongs to the specific project. It's also manage the use case for the app model. So we will move the business logic from the app level, the app model into the domain model. So as you can see on the right, we have the app model. We have the app model here. And then we have command eyes, and then the data, and then the domain. So now our main app model still remain with the main UI flow, and then the domain model will contain almost use case, for example, business logic for login, log out, authenticate the user, something like that. It will provide functionality to the app model. So the app model will contain the UI and view model, and then our domain model will interact with the data model. So data model will contain all the logic of the networking. Then we have the final one is the command eyes. We could define more command model here. Like the first one, we just define the command eyes to provide the eyes operation eyes functionality to every model here. The next one is improve update our current MVVM architecture with use case. So as you know, with the clean architecture, they introduce to use case. So to have something here. So with the old implementation, we already implement the MVVM architecture, but we use repositories directly inside the view model. So for Android, we already separating our architecture to have a UI, the view layer, and then we have the view model layer, and then the view model will interact with the repository, with the persistent data persistent. But for now, so for that architecture, view model will interact with the repository directly. So why we should not call the repository directly in the view model? Like because it will contain a lot of operation in the view model to interact with the repository to receive or to submit the data. And then we want the data flow logic to be reusable between the view model. So for example, we have two view model. We want to get the user profile too, and we have to duplicate the code between view model to interact with the user repository to get the and to save user profile, for example. So yeah, this is an example to with the our implementation.
Lucas, just
yeah.
one thing, you reach your 10 minutes, so you need to speed up a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
So with the new implementation, we introduce to use the use case, like we define all the business logic to remove all the business logic from the view model to use case. Here is happen to move out the business logic and reuse the use case for another view model as well. So the first thing is for reusable. We can define more things related to the error handling here instead of putting in the main component. Yeah, so this is just an example. So now in our project, we could define a list of the use case here. You can see. So for we can after we define all the use case here, we can just call it to where we need it. So it makes us more easy to reuse our business here instead of putting everything into the controller into the view model.
Okay, hello everyone. In the next session, I will introduce about our updates for the Android template with the refactor to the application to use just a single activity. So I will just overview about the activity and fragment in Android. So for the 4 years ago, when I start with Android, we often create multiple activities for displays for different screen. We use activity instead of fragment. So with activity, we have to handle a lot of things like when we have more complex navigation and we difficult for manage the destination when we cannot handle the where the route destination route screen navigate to the destination. So luckily, Google released the navigation component, so we have which support fragment navigation. So it automatically build the correct up and back behavior, include the full support for deep links. So it is the more important thing we need to use a navigation component, and it also have to show us the whole application graph with the screen and destination. For example, on you guys can see on the screen right now. Yeah, we can see what we have and the destination on the graph, and how we refactor to use single activity. So it's a very for the someone not familiar with Android, so I thought introduce a little bit about the DI. So with DI dependency injection, we have scope, and we have to separate the new scope for activity and fragment. So the module we create the third one activity module for single activity, and we separate to multiple fragment module, and and navigator, we define a merchant for navigating, and on the navigation in the app must navigate via the navigate controller. Okay. So the next, Lucas.
Yep. So we already finished the 3 parts of the improvement in this Android template version. So they kind of the many pull requests are waiting to be reviewed. Also, the way we work in this role section is we have 3 people. So we work in kind of the pair programming style. So we move to the meeting room and yeah, we pair all the equipment to, and then we write the code and we improve the code together to improve our quality standard. Yeah. So what's next? We still have some tasks to improvement. Like we have to update the test. We have to update test for all the necessary command and model. For now, we cannot finish that part because of the limited time. Also, we would like to add the CI integration for Bitstripe for Circle CI, for example. Like we can make a sample for that because our template is kind of public repository, so we can maybe consider it for that part. Yeah. So thank you for everyone. Thank you everyone for listening. So the next one is the QAs. Anyone have any question about our improvement?